What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today, once again, we've been talking about all the most recent and latest Destiny news and things that have been happening online or in-game, and also announcements from Bungie. They made an official response to all the discussions about skill-based matchmaking recently, which is really interesting to hear, and I'll talk about that. There are also some new exotic ornaments that I'll talk about, how they tie into future events, some Destiny 2 info, and on top of that, Bungie also mentioned a few other little things, including a tease of SRL making an appearance at PSX, so quite a few things to go over in this video. So the first thing was the actual addition and then removal of the Red Death and Thorn ornaments. Very strangely enough, a few days ago they were fully available to preview in the kiosk, but since they've been removed, if you go there now you won't see them. So very strange they were added temporarily and then removed. I'm guessing it was an accident, and it kind of means they're going to be on the way soon. It's very similar to how the Bad Juju ornaments were also on display exactly 1 week before Festival actually started, so it probably means the winter event is only a few weeks away as well. I highly doubt it'll be like next week, it definitely won't be that soon, seeing as they hyped up Festival. They'll probably do the same thing for this event, but early December is probably my best guess. I think the fact they were added into the game and then removed shows they're getting ready to put them in properly, and it's kind of a precursor to the winter event that will actually get them added in. On top of that, there are also, of course, the ornaments for the Black Spindle and Last Word, which we don't know when those are coming, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be in the winter event. Bungie did kind of give the impression they'd be in some other event after, just before the end of the year, so I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but those are, of course, on the way as well. So the next thing to mention is a Destiny 2 interesting conversation that went down yesterday, and this image was taken from the Bungie.net page looking to hire developers. A lot of people obviously took notice of the fact it said the PC platform, and it also does mention the Xbox 360 and PS3. Some people pointed out they have been saying this since apparently like 2014, and they've always said PC and all the platforms like this list right here, and also the fact that legacy consoles are shown doesn't really indicate much towards Destiny 2, seeing as that game is most likely not going to be on those consoles. I think by now pretty much all of us know that Destiny 2 will be on PC, that isn't really a big deal, but Jason Schreier from Kotaku actually joined the conversation on Twitter, and he said it's not an Xbox 360 or PS3, so that job listing doesn't really say much, but I can confirm it will be on PC. So of course this isn't the first time we're hearing Destiny 2 being on the PC platform. We did see a few reliable sources post about the rumours, and one of them being a Kotaku article written by Jason Schreier. If you don't know who he is, he's the one that writes all the Destiny Kotaku articles, and he's got a lot of inside sources at Bungie, so when he says something it's definitely worth paying attention to, and you know he's not just making it up. But I guess that's more confirmation that the sequel will be on the PC platform. So the next thing, which is what Bungie talked about, was on the topic of skill-based matchmaking, which is one of those staple topics in the community that has always been talked about, and Bungie gave a full response which I'll go over. So if you don't know what it is, essentially a quick summary is that it's matchmaking that prioritizes skill. So if you're a really good player, it's going to mostly match you with other good players, and if you're a bad player, it's going to mostly match you with other bad players. It sounds good in theory, and it protects the high skill players from stomping all over the low skill ones, but the problem is that it often gets very boring to constantly have to try your hardest and always be playing your best like it's $1 million tournament when you just want to have some casual fun in the Crucible. And an even bigger problem is that the connection most of the time it seems to suffer as the game tries to find your opponents on your skill level. So not only are you facing really good players and you have to try your best, but a lot of the time they're across the world and the connection for both of you is really bad. So it's basically a sweaty and also laggy game. But that's a really quick summary of what skill-based matchmaking is for those of you who don't know. I could talk for a long time about it, so maybe if you guys want to see me do a video on it with my thoughts, then let me know. But now let's talk about Bungie's actual response. So they summarize what their actual search criteria is and explain briefly how it works. They said, firstly, we identify a pool of available players with a good connection to you. Within that pool, we choose players closely matched to your personal skill rating. If we can't find players within that pool, we widen the variance in skill. If that doesn't work, we expand the search again with more variance in connection quality, and once enough players are selected, we break them into equally skilled teams. They also noted that, of course, Trials is excluded from this because that is strictly based on your connection and how many wins you have in your passage card, but they went on to say that connection quality is always the highest factor in Destiny matchmaking. It's the first criteria for the search, and it's the last value we're willing to compromise to set the match. When possible, we introduce you to opponents that will put up a respectable fight, but not at the expense of a good connection. So that was Bungie's official response to all the talk about skill-based matchmaking. Essentially, most people feel like connection is not prioritized enough, but Bungie is saying here that it's still the #1 priority. The main thing that I disagreed with from what they said is when they did like a frequently asked questions, and they answered the question, why can't I just relax and enjoy some Crucible matches with my friends? And they said, we introduced private matches to the Crucible with the launch of Rise of Iron, so you can do just that, take matchmaking into your own hands and make the Crucible what you want it to be. The main thing that I disagree with is essentially they're saying indirectly, if you want to enjoy Crucible matches with your friends, which is the question, you have to do that in private matches. And if you want to play the public match-made Crucible, then you won't be able to relax and enjoy some matches with your friends, because that's where skill-based matchmaking is going to come into play. So they essentially said it themselves, the fact that you aren't really supposed to relax and enjoy Crucible with this matchmaking, and if you want to, you have to play private matches. So that is their response, I guess, which I personally disagree with. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like I said, I could talk for so much longer about this, but I don't want the video to be like 30 minutes long. So if you want me to make a separate video with my thoughts on it, then let me know. But moving on, the next thing they mentioned was to do with their Twitch raid long, which of course was done yesterday. They said they were still deciding on what their next ride long is going to be, either the Plaguelands Patrol, Archon's Forge, or the Rise Vine campaigns. That's what the next one is going to be, one of those three. And if you missed the raid long yesterday, I made a video collecting all the cool facts about the raid from the stream, and there's also some cool new concept art, and that video will be linked in the description as well if you want to check it out. Cosmo from Bungie also mentioned today that a massive ban wave went out for all cheaters and hackers and DDoSers and people like that in the Crucible. As I mentioned in a recent video, Bungie are always monitoring the cheaters in the Crucible, and they do regularly send out the ban wave to remove them all from the game and restrict access to certain activities for a few weeks or months or forever maybe, depending on what you did. So if you do get caught cheating, depending on what you did, you will end up getting blocked from going to the Crucible, for example. Not sure what it would look like, but you can get restricted from certain activities and also get prevented from using gear in those activities, which is really weird as well. They also set live the Twitch features, which I mentioned in a recent video, so all the ability to see streamers based on what activity they're playing, you can actually view them, and that should be live now on the Bungie website, and pretty soon you should be able to start building up the hours where you get that Bungie Twitch emblem if you play for 77 hours, so these features are rolling out. And the final thing they mentioned is that the week after next, they're going to be packing their bags for Anaheim in California, and they're going to be attending the PSX show, which of course is the PlayStation experience. They say the particulars of our mission is still a mystery, but we'll cross that finish line soon. So of course, crossing the finish line is a subtle nod towards Sparrow Racing, and I'm guessing they're going to do a little preview of it at the actual event, maybe show it off in the keynote, or maybe it will be playable on the show floor for people actually attending PSX. But there you go, I guess Sparrow Racing is going to be unveiled at PSX, and after it should be going live, of course, as a part of the winter event. So there you go, that is a roundup of all the latest Destiny news and things going on recently for the game and Bungie's announcements. Of course, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section of what you think about skill-based matchmaking, everything else I've discussed. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest Destiny news, you can subscribe to my channel and not miss out on my future videos. But if you enjoyed this video, a like rating would be much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.